Okay, what is the best name for a quadrilateral, which means four-sided object, with adjacent angles that are supplementary? Okay, so here's some new words. Let me just tell you the answer. It's going to be a parallelogram. Let me show you why. So when you have a parallelogram, so you have a parallelogram. This angle, well, what is that angle? Let me just make up a number. It looks like it's something less than 90. It might be, I don't know. It might be 70 degrees. I'm just guessing. Something less than 90, right? Because this would be 90, right? This would be 90. So this is less than 90, maybe 70. I'm just kind of guessing it. And then what about this angle right here? Well, this would be 90. This one's more than 90, isn't it? So it might be something like, I don't know, let me just say 110. Something more than 90 is my main point. So, right, because 90 would be straight up, and this goes beyond that. So it's more than 90, like maybe 110. Well, these are adjacent angles. Adjacent just means next to each other, like your neighbor lives adjacent to you. These are adjacent angles, That means angles next to each other. And notice what they add up to be. If you add them up, they make 180 degrees. And when two angles add to be 180, add to equal 180 degrees, we call that supplementary. So getting some more fancy geometry words there. Supplementary angles are angles that add to equal 180 degrees. In other words, together they make a straight line. They make 180. Here that is on your notes. Yeah, it's right here. This is, again, the exam number 1 notes at the top of the Unit 1 module in the Canvas Core shell. Exam number 1 notes. So I've given you the definition. Complementary angles are those that add to be 90, and supplementary angles are those that add up to be 180. So, therefore, as we look at this question, if you have a four-sided shape in which adjacent angles add up to be 180, that'll make it into a parallelogram automatically. Two angles add to equal 180. That makes it be a parallelogram. A parallelogram always does that. You could do the other. This one's also going to be, let me change that. This one up here is also going to be 70 degrees, and this one's going to be 110. You can tell these two are the same, right? These two are the same. Diagonal angles are equal. And see how if you take any two that are adjacent means next to each other. Like if you take these two, they're next to each other, they had to be 180. If you take these two, they had to be 180. If you take these two, they had to be 180. They're all supplementary. Adjacent angles are supplementary. They had to be 180. Diagonal angles are equal, of course. But adjacent angles, any two next to each other, had to be 180. So that makes a parallelogram. That's what a parallelogram always does.